Hey there, gang. Welcome back to Papa's Model Workshop. I'm Papa. This is my workshop. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. We had a house full of people. You know what? I have a cousin named Chrissy, and I have not seen her in over 40 years. As a matter of fact, the last time I saw Chrissy was the day I got married. That was 42 years ago. So I saw her yesterday, and it was really great to see her. And she introduced me to her daughter, Ellie. Terrific young lady. So that was just really nice to see Chrissy again and meeting her daughter for the first time. And like I said, we had a house full of people. And you know what? It's Thanksgiving weekend. And you know what? I got a cold. Can you believe this? I've got a cold. Thanksgiving weekend. I got a cold. Let's see. I have a number of things. Oh, by the way, if you watched the last video, I finally reached 1,000 subscribers. I have had so many people that have contacted me from other YouTube channel providers to viewers to friends and families. I like to mention people when they take the time to contact me. But I just have so many people that contacted me. I'm just so sorry that I can't mention each of you individually, or otherwise this video would go on for 3 days. So I'm just going to kind of give a blanket thank you to everybody who contacted me. I really appreciate it very, very much. The one guy I do want to mention is my friend Ken from Model Building in Retirement. He's been my cheerleader all along, and he was kind of cheering me along before I reached 1,000. And I think he was one of the very first to reach out to me when I did reach 1,000. So I do want to single out Ken and say thank you to him. But that doesn't diminish my appreciation for everybody else that reached out. Really, it's very humbling. Thank you so much to everybody. Okay, let's see here. What I have today. Well, let me do this. Let me mention my sponsor, okay? Gallery. And Gallery sent my Aventus airbrush out. Now, if you're not familiar, Gallery launched a brand new airbrush called an Aventus. And a lot of people on YouTube have already received their Aventus airbrush. So you've probably seen the demonstrations and the reviews by other YouTube channels, and across the board, they all love it. So mine is in transit. My friend Sita over at Gallery sent me an email saying that it was sent out and it's on its way. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, you will get 10% off of that brand new Aventus airbrush, okay, by putting in my discount code. Now, that's on top of the 45% that Gallery is running right now. 45% off of all their airbrushes and paints and equipment, and an additional 10% with my discount code. And Sita, if you're watching, I finally got the links and everything established with Amazon. So we are hooked up with Amazon now, and I just have to get Jimmy over here this afternoon. He's coming this afternoon to finalize the links between me and Amazon so I can send them over to you. Hopefully by the next video, that'll be all set, and then you will be able to shop on Amazon and use my discount code right there. Okay, so pretty cool stuff. Also, I have not heard back from Norm O'Leary 73. Haven't heard back from him yet. He won let me see. I got it right here. He won the NASCAR kit for my milestone of reaching 1,000 subscribers. So Norm, send me an email. In fact, you know what? Maybe he didn't send me an email because I think I forgot to put it up there. So that might be my fault. Here's my email. All right. So Norm, if you see this, if you're out there, you're the winner. That kit is yours if you send me an email, okay, with your mailing address, okay? And for content creators, there's my mailing address if you would like to swap shop cards, all right? And I've gotten a few requests for shop cards over the last couple of days, but with the holidays and I'm just a little behind on things. So I apologize about that. I am going to get to it. I'm just a little behind. And this cold is killing me. You believe this? I went to Bayshore Hobbies, pick up some paint. Okay, I picked up some X23 clear blue. All right. Excuse me. Okay, Papa, I know that you've been working on the Corvette with the X23 clear blue. Why are you going to the hobby store and getting more? You want to know why? Papa's a dunderhead. I showed you the Corvette, repainted it after I stripped it, and it came out pretty nice. So here it is this morning. Okay. What happened, Papa? All right. Well, I'll tell you, the Corvette was looking terrific. It really was. I went to shoot it with 2K clear, and it cracked. It all cracked and came out terrible. I mean, it definitely had a negative reaction. Now, the 2K clear was going over, of course, an acrylic. Now, I can use 2K clear over an acrylic because I've done it before. I don't have an explanation as to why it reacted that way. And then to make things even worse, because when I took this out of the dehydrator, okay, and I saw this, I was a little bit frustrated at that point, and I kind of grabbed the car to look at it, and I had silver paint on my fingers. So then on top of all of that, I got silver paint all over it. So this just crashed and burned. So I just threw it back into the isopropyl alcohol and stripped it, and I'm going to do this again. All right. So that's why I had to go back down and get more X23. All right. And as I was walking out of the hobby store, this fell in my bag. I can't understand how that happened, but it just fell in my bag. So I had to take it home, and it didn't want to go home by itself. So this jumped in the bag too. Look at this. 2 homeless model kits jumped into my bag somehow and came home with me. That's what happens when Karen sends me to the hobby store unsupervised. So anyway, I will add those two to my stash. Oh, here's another thing too. I just got these in. These are white charcoal pencils. Okay. And you know what these are for? I haven't tried it yet. But these, if I can get this thing out of here, hang on. I'm working on it. Okay. These are white charcoal pencils, all right? And these will put the white lettering on your tires. Do you ever get your tires and it says Firestone on it, and you want to make it, white? Apparently, I haven't tried it yet, but apparently this is one of the ways you can go about doing that. So I will try that out, and I will let you know how that works. Okay, I had to quickly pause that. I'm having issues with my cold. So be patient with me today. Okay, so let's see. What I have here today, I have George Kimball. I got a message from him. He was wishing me a happy Thanksgiving. And George mentioned to me that his morning on Thanksgiving morning started out with a 6.1 earthquake. You believe that? A 6.1 earthquake. Gosh, I hope everybody is okay. Well, he did in his message say that everybody was okay and there was no damage at his house. But wow, what a way to start the day, right? On Thanksgiving, a 6.1 earthquake. My friend John Pilger, I spoke to him on Thanksgiving morning, and he told me that he is finally up and about, and he was getting back to his workshop. I think he's still working on that Porsche. So, John, I hope that you got to your workbench, and I'm anxious to see your progress on the Porsche. Okay, and well, the other two I already addressed. I addressed my cousin Chrissy and her daughter Ellie. And Sita at Gallery, you already mentioned that I got my Amazon issues taken care of. And like I said, Jimmy's going to come over this afternoon and send the necessary links to you to get this Amazon store up and running. Okay, so I mentioned in the last video that there is a gentleman who does not particularly like Papa. At least that was the impression I got from what he wrote. I don't know. I'm going to read to you exactly what he wrote, so you let me know. I mean, he didn't specifically spell out and say, I don't like you, but I kind of got that impression from what he wrote. And I'll say this. Actually, I'll say a couple of things about this, okay? I have mentioned on more than one occasion that this channel is a freedom of speech channel. So you don't always have to agree with me. You don't have to toot my horn and sprinkle me with sugar, okay? It's okay to disagree with me, and it's even okay if you don't like me. That's just the way it is. When you put yourself out there on YouTube, you're going to kind of fall into three categories. Either people are going to like you, they're going to be indifferent about you, or there are going to be some people who do not like you. So that's just how it goes when you put yourself out there. You kind of, to a certain extent, have a little bit of a target on your back sometimes. So anyway, I don't mind if somebody, sends in comments that are negative or unflattering, as long as it doesn't become personally nasty or vulgar. And I can't say that this rose to that level. He did not, become personally nasty or vulgar. So, and that's the reason why I left the post up. Some people said to me, why don't you just take it down? No, I'm not going to do that. It didn't, rise to that level that I just mentioned. So I'm not going to take it down. I'm going to leave his thoughts there, and he's entitled to his thoughts. And the other thing I want to mention is, on occasion when you get some blowback or something, unflattering, I have found that some of those, they post it anonymously. I will give him credit. He posted this with his name. He gave me his name, first and last name. So, you know what? He stood by what he had to say. So I actually respect that. I'm not going to give you his last name. His first name is Howard. And here's what he has to say. Okay. I'm going to read this exactly as he wrote it. All right. And it starts out, he says, wait a minute. You need to explain this to viewers? Now, let me pause here a second. I think what he's talking about is I did a video, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos back, where I showed this Corvette where I wet sanded it. Okay, it was painted blue and I wet sanded it. And after wet sanding, it was all flat and milky and it looked kind of terrible. And I held that up and I said to some of the beginners in airbrushing, not to panic about that's normal. And then when you reapply your paint or even your 2K clear, it should come right back again. And I think Howard took offense at that. So I'm going to go on and read this, okay? So let me start over again. It says, wait a minute, you need to explain this to viewers? I find that hard to believe. You sure don't need, I'm sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. You need to explain this to viewers? I find that hard to believe. You sure you don't have an ego and want to feel relevant by doing this video? Pretty much talking down to all of us. Like we don't know that we wet sand a freshly painted piece of styrene plastic and it produces these results. I guess that refers to when I held the Corvette up and it was all flat and milky. Then it says, really? I think late teen newcomers to this hobby know this. It's not science. It really isn't. Okay, so that is his entire statement to me. So again, I don't think that rises to the level of being personally nasty or vulgar. Look, he's entitled to his opinion. I will say, I don't, I don't do this channel for my ego. I really don't. I do this channel. I'll tell you a really quick story if you'll indulge me for a second as to why I do this channel. Okay, and I think I've mentioned this before a while ago. I came back to this hobby right around 2018, I think, 18 or 19. I'm not sure. And my previous experiences in this hobby go all the way back to when I was a teenager in the 70s. Now, back then, model building was basically a kit, a tube of Tester's glue, and you bought a package of Tester's paints, in the little bottles. You got maybe, I don't know, 6 or 8 paints. And that was model building. That was it. Back then, you didn't have the equipment and tools that you have now. You didn't do airbrushing or all that sort of thing. I'm sure airbrushes were around, but as far as my knowledge is concerned, it wasn't a mainstream part of the hobby back then. And back at that particular time, as a kid, I used to build most of the time up at my homework desk in my bedroom, but occasionally my good friend Jody Riley, who lived right next door, he would come over and build models with me, and I would set up a great big table, a long table in the garage, and we would sit side by side, and we would build models all weekend long. I would put a big thing of potato chips in between us, and I had a Zenith 13-inch black and white TV up in my bedroom. And I would bring that TV down to the garage, and we would sit there all weekend long and build models. And I enjoyed talking with Jody about models, talking to him about what I was building, hearing what he was building. And when I first started the channel, well, I didn't have anybody to talk to. As a lot of you know, this hobby, sometimes you're a little sequestered at your table or workbench or wherever it is that you're building. And I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I can talk to the camera. And that's why I started this channel, quite frankly. I enjoy the hobby. I enjoy talking about it. So I talk to all of you on camera. So this is not to, stroke my ego at all. I just love the hobby and I love sharing it. Now, as far as talking down to all of you, I didn't think I was talking down to you, and that certainly isn't my intention to try to talk down to you. As a matter of fact, if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you know that I'm not always the sharpest tool in the shed, and sometimes I can be an outright dunderhead, as exampled by this. Okay, for the second time I had to strip this. So I am a mediocre model builder. At best. I know exactly where I am and what I am. I'm not a master builder, and I don't think that I am, so I am in no position to talk down to anybody. In fact, in a lot of ways, I still feel that I'm a beginner, along with many of you. And, I try to encapsulate in my mind, excuse me, I try to encapsulate in my mind the questions that I had. All right. When I first got back into this hobby back in 2018, as I said, back in the 70s when I was a kid, we didn't have any of the tools and so forth that we have now. So when I came in 2018, that's the knowledge I had in my head: a tube of glue and some Tester's paint. So I knew nothing. And when I answer questions and so forth, or demonstrate something, I try and think of the mysteries that I had in my mind about doing basic things. I just simply didn't know a lot of things. I still don't know a lot of things. But I try to put it in terms for a beginner to understand. And Howard's point about, even a teenager would know that wet sanding a body is going to produce a result where it's flat and milky and doesn't look very good. Well, I got to tell you, maybe I'm not the smartest person in the world, but back then I didn't know that. So that's why I try to put things in very basic terms, so the bare beginner can get an idea about things. I started talking about the airbrushing and the painting. I guess this is over the course of the last maybe 3 videos or so. And it was really in response to a number of questions about basic approaches to airbrushing. I had gotten a lot of messages from people about that, including one, and I apologize, I can't remember specifically who it was, but this particular person specifically asked me, can you do a video about airbrush basics and paint and so on and so forth. So I decided to go ahead and do this because in addition to that one request, I had received quite a number of them prior to that. So when I started this little group of videos regarding airbrushing basics in paint, I said at that particular time I was going to break it up into a number of videos because I could not do the entire thing in one video. So I put it under the heading of Papa's Basics because it was going to be basics for a beginner. And in that one video in particular where I wet sanded the Corvette back down to a flat finish, I think I mentioned a number of times in that video that I was addressing beginners and that you more experienced people know this. So I'm not trying to talk down to anybody. I was really keeping the bare bones beginner in mind by explaining things the way I did. And a few of the people that sent in messages had told me they have not even gone into airbrushing yet. They were thinking about it and they wanted information about it so they could make a final decision and perhaps get an airbrush. So anyway, I hope that clears up some of that. And no, it's not science, Howard. I know that. But again, I just try to keep things on a very basic level for a basic beginner. So anyway, I don't think I've from that I don't think I've changed Howard's opinion of me. It looks like he has his mind pretty well made up. So anyway, the only thing I can tell you, Howard, is there's lots of other channels out there that you might find a little bit more appealing. Maybe you can go check them out. I'm sorry that I am not one of those channels that you find appealing. Okay, enough of that. And I think I will probably wrap this up for today. I know I said that I was going to get into paint, and I haven't done that yet. Some messages came back asking me specifically, what kind of paint do I use and what paint do I think is the best? So that's going to be in another video. And also, I still have on my radar the gentleman that asked me about parts that don't fit and so on and so forth. I know that was a little while ago. I have not forgotten. I am going to circle back around to that. And in the meantime, I have some work to do on this. So I will catch all of you in the next video. And let me see. I'll leave that to the next video. Okay. So anyway, as usual, thanks so much for tuning in again. And thank you for getting me over 1,000. And thank you for all of you who contacted me and congratulating me. I can't express my gratitude to all of you enough. I also posted a bunch of Thanksgiving pictures on my Facebook page. So if you're curious about seeing the Thanksgiving shindig here, go to my Facebook page, which is Papa's Model Workshop on Facebook. Take a look at the pictures if you're curious. And I will see you all in the next video.